Suzanne Somers is the third of 4 children born to Frank and Marion Mahoney. Her father worked loading beer onto boxcars, and her mother was a medical secretary. She grew up living in constant fear of being hurt or even killed at the hands of her verbally and physically abusive alcoholic father. She was diagnosed with dyslexia when she was young, and was a poor student. She excelled, however, in the arts and was active in her school's theater program. She won a music scholarship to college, but became pregnant after 6 months. She married the baby's father, Bruce Somers, and her only child, Bruce Somers, was born in November 1965. She was unhappy in her marriage and began an affair with her former drama teacher. Her husband found out about it and the marriage ended after just 2 years, in 1967. A single mom, she turned to modeling in San Francisco to support herself and her son. She also distanced herself from her family because her older brother and sister by then were also alcoholics. In 1968, she won a job as a prize model on a game show hosted by her future husband, Alan Hamill, who was married at the time. The two began dating, and she became pregnant while Hamill was still married. They came to the conclusion that Suzanne should have an abortion, from which she suffered severe bleeding for several days. In 1971, her son Bruce was severely injured when he was hit by a car, and the therapist counseling him only charged the struggling Suzanne $1 per week. Suzanne herself also underwent therapy to overcome the problems of her dysfunctional childhood. In the early 1970s, she landed minor roles in film and TV, and finally won a role on the series Three's Company, 1976, where she modeled her character after Dick Clark's wife. She married Hamill in 1977. She was fired from the series after she asked for a raise at the beginning of the 5th season. She then headed to Las Vegas, where she performed extensively in the mid-1980s. In 1986, she began writing her autobiography, Keeping Secrets, which was later made into a TV movie. In 1991, Suzanne landed the role of Carol Foster, opposite Patrick Duffy, on the TV series Step by Step, 1991. Since the end of that show, she has begun co-hosting the series Candid Camera, 1992. You may know Suzanne Somers as the cute blonde who played Chrissy Snow on Three's Company, a hit TV show in the 1970s. Or as the spokeswoman for Thighmaster, a product that's still on sale. But perhaps you will be surprised and saddened to learn that Suzanne Somers, who passed away at the age of 76, just one day before her 77th birthday, was the one who spent decades finding methods to break through anti-aging. Stay away from toxic chemicals and big pharma. 14 of Ms. Somers' 27 books are on the New York Times bestseller list, and the majority of these books revolve around natural health issues. Suzanne Somers' latest book is titled A New Way to Age. Her decades-long exploration of cutting-edge anti-aging therapies and serious, matter-of-fact speaking have made Suzanne Somers one of the most sought-after speakers on the subject. She regularly lectures to doctors at a medical conference. She is also a very successful businesswoman, a wife, a mother, and a grandmother. Her journey to find alternative treatments began 25 years ago, when she was diagnosed with breast cancer. At the height of her fame, Ms. Somers publicly made the controversial decision to refuse chemotherapy. Everyone was anxiously awaiting the results and counting the days until she died, she said, because many thought chemotherapy and radiation were the only way to save her life. She went on The Larry King Show to talk about her diagnosis and was covered by Dan Rather. Fortunately, she had success using natural supplements and her cancer subsequently went into remission. But from the way she spoke, it could be seen that she was not aggressive when talking about alternative treatments. I choose natural therapies first, Ms. Somers said. I take care of my body by eating right, sleeping right, thinking right and loving my body. And if natural treatments don't work, I'll turn to traditional Western medicine and hope for a miracle. Western medicine is a disaster, but right now it's the first thing we think of. She hopes to change that by connecting people with the most natural and effective treatments in the United States. Before BHRT helped her become the best version, she went through 3 of her worst years. The terrible symptoms of impotence during those years led her to coin a new phrase, the 7 dwarfs of menopause: itching, irritability, drowsiness, sweating, bloating, forgetful, and all become old. Worst of all, this began to affect her marriage. She began to treat her husband, whom she called her best friend in the world, so badly that he said, "You know, Suzanne, a marriage can only go so far." I was pushing away the person I cared about most in the world, Ms. Somers said. And that's what made me really take action. I went to doctor after doctor, then one day I heard about an endocrinologist in Santa Barbara who specialized in bioidentical hormones. I called her and arranged an appointment. Although bioidentical hormone replacement therapy is what she recommends above all else, in her latest book, she lets the experts have their say on groundbreaking anti-aging approaches, stem cell therapy, yoga, jaw adjustments for heart health, functional medicine, the role of stress on hormones and aging, and more. In addition to writing, she also promotes her brands of natural supplements, non-toxic home cleaning products, and organic skincare products. In live broadcasts on social networks, she discusses the effects of environmental toxins and what needs to be done to fix them. First, stay away from toxins, then detoxify your body, and choose organic products whenever possible. An early experience with an excellent therapist gave Ms. Somers the confidence to take on a starring role on national television and set her on a lifelong path of self-improvement. Her beauty and valuable experience are why she feels so grateful. I almost want to tell people younger than me, wait until you reach my age, it will be amazing. You have something that young people can't buy or have. Yes, that is the capital and perspective of life. I have gained the capital and new perspective that I am done with negativity. I don't have negative thoughts. Suppose you want to anger someone, if I were you, I would give up right away that idea. I thought that's very unworthy and wished them well.